Hey YouTube, Steven TheSalonGuy here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about scissors. Alright guys, so what you're seeing basically is a collection of shears that I use on a regular basis. Sometimes I use all of them in one haircut, or sometimes I'll use just one of them. And we're going to start with the left side here, what you guys are looking at here, and I'm going to break them down and why I'm using them. So the first two shears are from Hattori Hanzo, and if you need any sort of shear stuff, any shears that would purchase these, contact robshock.com. He is an amazing guy. He's the shear expert. Here's his information here. This is his Instagram page, but definitely reach out to him. Tell him the Salon Guy sent you. He definitely knows his stuff when it comes to these shears, and I got these shears through him. So I have 6.5 inch shears right here, and I'll use these basically for my men's haircuts. I use them for my women's haircuts. I told Rob that I wanted something specifically that's going to be a good universal shear that I can use for wet cutting, that I can use for dry cutting, and these have really become my favorite. I like a pretty much a straight handle. I'm not really looking for anything that's kind of really offset. I like a kind of a classic shear just because I feel more comfortable. And the pinky rest here, it's not detachable. Everything is a really simple, easy to work with shear. I'm a huge fan of these. And these are 6.5 inch. I prefer that just because it's easier when cutting hair. It covers more of a span as far as the width of the shear goes when cutting more hair. This right here, this is a thinning shear. I use this mostly for texturizing. Again, they're from the same company. These are really, really good because, you know, they're great for removing weight. These are 6 inch right here, 6.0. Very, very essential. Again, there's a little bit of an offset right here, but not much, but it's still very comfortable to use. I prefer to use these on really, really thick hair. Moving down the line here, these are kind of a little more type budget shears, but they're really, really good. These are from hairartproducts.com. You know, I use these quite a bit for barbering, which I prefer to do on a number of things. I'll use them a lot with my mannequin heads, but they're really, really good kind of entry-level shear. And then last but not least, I have my own shears right here. These were handcrafted, manufactured for me, and I think they're really good. These are 5.5 inch, so they're very kind of affordable. I wanted them to be an affordable price point, but I'll use these kind of as my go-to for when working on shorter haircuts and stuff because they're just easy to work with. This does have a removable pinky rest in through here. Everything was kind of customized to my liking. So I have, this is what I use in my collection most of the time. One of the biggest questions I get is, how do you flip your shears around? I get that all the time, and I'm gonna kind of explain to you the difference between flipping it and not flipping your shears around. So traditionally, this is a more traditional way of cutting like this. You comb it, you hold the hair up, hold the comb, and then you cut. And then you don't flip it around. Comb the hair back down. The only thing about that, and that's how I started, is you run the risk of jabbing someone in the eye sometimes. You know what I mean? You have to be very, very careful, very quick with it. And that's the only thing that I've come across. I haven't jabbed anyone in the eye, but that's the difference. I think sometimes you can work maybe a little bit quicker. It takes off that step. You know, you hold it, cut. You comb and you cut. So holding it this way without flipping it's totally fine. You just have to make sure you're comfortable with doing that. Now, flipping it around is when you're combing the hair and you hold the hair, the comb with the other hand, and you cut, then you flip it like this. So what you're doing is you're protecting from the blade from hitting the hair or hitting the client or anything. But then when you comb and you're ready to cut again, you have to kind of flip it out and then cut. So basically it's hanging from this finger right in through here, and you're using your thumb. So you got these two fingers right here, and your thumb is basically pushing it towards your pinky. So now it's locked in between these two fingers right in through here. All right, as you can see. It's the pinky, this finger, and then that's it. So when you're combing and the blade is pointed away from the client's face. Then when you're ready to cut, you flip it by basically literally turning your hand so that the shear will then point upwards, and then you're ready to cut. After you put it down again, you basically release the pinky and push it so it's hanging down, and then you lock it in like this. So your pinky really is locking in. It's hanging loose right here, as you can see, from this finger right here, and then the pinky covers it. So you're locking it in this way. Then you can comb. Then you flip it, cut, push it back, and flip it. That's basically the best way that I can describe of how to actually flip your shears and working with your shears. I get that all the time. People asking me, how do you go about doing that? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess, you know, it's a little bit easier than for me, but it was a learning curve and a learning process. Same thing. These are my shears right here. These are the 5.5 inch. So again, you're combing it down, you flip it, and then you work the cut this way. Flip, again, there's that pinky that's locking it in, and then you use the thumb when you're cutting. So we can go into a lot of different topics when it comes to just different types of steels: cobalt steel, stainless steel, Japanese steel, German. There's all different things. Japanese steel is really, really good. German steel is really, really good. Majority of my stuff is Japanese steel. I definitely suggest contacting Rob if you have any sort of questions about shears. If you want to purchase any shears, he's definitely the guy to go to. But I just want to show you kind of how to go about flipping the shears and understanding, you know, kind of what they are and the differences. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time for more videos with The Salon Guy.